This is a more advanced crafting video, and it's going to involve synthesis items. Um, for those of you that don't know what synthesis item is, um, I'll show you. I have a pair of gloves right here. Basically, all these three implicits, they are synthesis modifiers, and this can be changed further if you want to get a better pair of gloves. Uh, when you have synthesis implicits, you cannot add um, this eldritch influence on it, so it cannot benefit from eldritch influence, and also it cannot have a general a regular influence like shape or hunter, and it also um, cannot have a fracture on it. So you have to keep that in mind. This is very important. Usually when you're doing synthesis crafts, it's either going to be a high energy shield Vol Regalia, it's going to be uh, rings or belts with increased attributes, or it's going to be a very good a very good weapon. Um, Usually two-handers, but sometimes some ones can be used with synthesis. Now, uh, synthesis crafting is going to be very expensive, and probably none of you are going to do it. Usually when you try to craft something with synthesis is because you're trying to hit a mirror tire item, and it's going to involve hundreds of divines. Anyway, let's explain to you how this works, although I'm sure probably none of you are going to use this in their PoE life. But here's how it works. You first go to the crafting bench and you synthesize an item until it gives you three um, three implicits, three implicits. After you get three implicits, I'm not sure where I put those gloves, but after you get those three implicits, you go to the bestiary, to the menagerie, and then you go to craft with a beast that it says. I'm not sure if I have one. I don't have it, but let's just show you. Mm, maybe it will show here. So here it doesn't show because I don't have it. But the idea is to use um, this right here, vivid vulture, vivid vulture beast, and when you use this beast will change the implicits. It will give you new synthesis implicits, and you would spam this beast until you get at least one of the desired implicits that you want. Like for example, when you go to PoEDB, you go to modifiers, and let's just take a ring. Let's just say that I want to craft a ring. I rolled with synthesis until I got three implicit modifiers, and then I have the ring. Um, from this tab right here, you go to ring synthesis implicit, and usually the best one is going to be increased intelligence or stat stat stacking are usually used for synthesis. Uh, let's just say intelligence. So you would go for this tier of increased intelligence. Um, I don't know why it shows it like this, but basically you go for the increased intelligence, 6% increased intelligence. Um, when your item after using vivid vultures has at least one of these, let's say 6% increased intelligence, at that point you would go to the bestiary, you would make the item blue. So the item should look something like this. I mean, this is fractured, but you get the idea. And you would craft an imprint. Here, this is the beast. Create an imprint of a magic item. And then you would use Vivid Vulture once again. This Vivid Vulture will reroll the implicit modifiers and but still it can keep the intelligence. Um, if it keeps the intelligence and it gives you strength, for example, now you make another you make another implicit. But if it removes the intelligence and gives you another implicit that is not useful for you, then you have to use the imprint. When you are going to use the imprint, the item will return to its initial state. I'm going to show you in emulator what I mean by that. So let's just take a pair of boots, for example. um, so if this item, let's just say that this was my imprint. We go to bestiary and I make an imprint. The item needs to be magic, blue text right here. And now let's just say that I destroyed the item somehow. I use regals, I use some chaos orbs, something like that. I destroyed the item. When I'm using the imprint, the item will return to its initial state. So if it removes the increased intelligence, you would have to use the imprint to transform the item to be once again with increased intelligence as the implicit. Then you would craft another imprint. You'll make another imprint of the item with increased intelligence. And then after that, you would return to Vivid Vulture spamming. You would spam Vivid Vulture until you get, for example, increased intelligence with increased dexterity or increased strength. And after you get it with increased intelligence and increased strength or dexterity, then you would once again make an imprint. The item needs to be magic. So to make the imprint, you cannot make an imprint of a rare item. And then you would try to hit Vivid Vultures until you get increased strength, for example, as the last attribute or something like that. Once again, this craft is only for um, making perfect items, for making mirror tier items, and probably you're never going to use it, but this is basically the process. Now I don't have Vivid Vulture to show you. I'm not sure if you understood what I said in this video, but this is basically the process to
When I'm
creating
ready,
mirror
I'm
tier
ready to
items.
perform.
It's totally unnecessary. You definitely don't need it to understand crafting in PoE. This is just if you want to spend 300, 500, 1000 divines on an item to make it mirror tier.